To think we'd get into a scrap here, of all places. We're lucky we all made it out alive. Well, that's ancient history. Anyway, long time no see, Professor. Are you still watching this boy's back?
Can you quit calling me a boy in front of everyone? I'm the leader of the Alliance now. It's not proper.
Not proper, is it? Says the leader who has neglected Alliance territory for years. If you're really the master tactician, you should go back to working quietly at whatever little desk you do your planning on.
Ugh, don't call me that either. Who even came up with that nickname?
It's a perfect title for a boy who loves crafty schemes as much as you do. You should be grateful to the professor. On your own, you'd look like a scoundrel of a leader.
Claude's usually so flippant, but even he gets overwhelmed when Judith is around.
As expected from the leader of the prestigious House Daphne, her dignity is beyond compare, even if she is no longer one of the 5 great lords. The 5 most influential lords of the Leicester Alliance. They hold the voting rights at the Round Table conferences. House Daphne used to be included among their ranks, but division from within has hastened their decline. Their vote has since been passed to the emerging Margrave Edmund.
Thanks for the exposition, Gloucester boy.
Boy, I will not.
Now to business. There were some unexpected interruptions, but I've brought soldiers and supplies as promised.
Thanks, Judith. I'll gladly take them off your hands.
Hold your horses, boy. You're misunderstanding. These soldiers are precious to me. I made them what they are. I'm not about to loan them out to someone.
No? Then why did you come here?
What I'm saying is that I'll be joining your army. You're going to fight the Empire with the Knights of Seros, right? Fight for Lady Rhea? Not without me.
That's admirable and all, but we still don't know for sure if Rhea's in the...
Oh, she's there. A witness saw Lady Rhea being dragged off by the Imperial Army after the battle 5 years ago.
Are you sure your source is reliable?
One of my own saw it happen. I'm certain.
It seems we chose wisely when we decided to fight against the Empire.
But you're the leader of House Daphne. Is it okay for you to leave your territory unattended?
And what about you? Is it okay for you to leave the Regan territory unattended?
I've left it in the hands of a reliable retainer and...
And I've asked that retainer to watch over Daphne territory as well.
Wait. You just up and decided to get my retainer to do that without even asking me? No respect, this one.
Oh, you haven't met him yet, Professor? His name is Nardell. He strikes me as a really special individual. And he's quite handsome, too.
So that's your definition of handsome?
No objections, then? Good. That settles it. House Daphne is now yours to command.
I'm sure you'd come along even if I refused. So be it. We'll be counting on you, Judith. With Judith joining our forces, we've secured some more troops and supplies, albeit not many.
I'm sorry it couldn't be more.
No, it's enough for the time being. We'll use them to secure even more troops and supplies. The key to my plan is Count Gloucester, the leader of the pro-Empire faction in the Alliance.
You intend to sway my father to join the other side?
If Count Gloucester were to switch to the other side, that would basically unify the Alliance. Then we could utilize our full military force in the fight against the Empire.
You don't mean to ask me to persuade him, do you? That would be quite impossible.
I don't plan on it. We'll just take his concerns out of the equation. The Aramid River flows along the border between Gloucester territory and the Empire, right? Of all the bridges that cross it, the Great Bridge of Murden is the only one near Gloucester territory large enough for an army. Currently, the Imperial Army occupies it.
So, if we were to capture the bridge...
Count Gloucester would be freed from the threat of the Empire, thanks to us.
But we have to pass through Gloucester territory to reach the Great Bridge of Murden, do we not?
Yes, and if we attempted it, naturally he would try to stop us.
I am sorry, but I must ask. Surely you do not plan to engage in combat with my father?
Don't worry. I want him as a future ally. What good would it do to waste both of our forces fighting? Who do you think you're talking to, Teach? Preparations are in the works even now.
So the Master Tactician is finally going to show us his true power. I'm looking forward to it.
I'll do my best to live up to that name by making my scheme as impressive as possible.
Part 2. Verdant Wind. Lone Moon. The Rose-Colored River. The Alliance army successfully rendezvous with Judith in Aelel. With the addition of House Daphnel's forces, the time has come to invade Empire territory.
Preparations are complete. Now it's a game of patience. As they say, good things come to those who wait.
Care to elaborate on this plan of yours, Claude? Can we really do this without battling my father?
Pretty soon, Count Gloucester will need to gather his troops in the northern part of his territory. You got it, Teach.
The combined forces of the Regan and Daphnel houses will threaten the northern part of the Gloucester territory. Nardell, that retainer I mentioned, is going to draw their attention.
We'll take that opportunity to make our way through Gloucester territory and launch a surprise attack on the Great Bridge of Murden.
And are you not concerned about the possibility that I may tip off my father?
The future of the Alliance rests on this battle. I'm certain you won't betray us.
I will ensure our success.
I know you will. If we can win this fight, then our next goal will be to topple Enbar, the Imperial capital. I said before that my plan was to meddle with the Empire, but I'm gonna do you one better. We are going to defeat the Empire, once and for all. But to do that, we can't afford to slip up here. Bear that in mind and prepare yourselves for the coming battle.
You look like a cat that's been sprayed with water. What? You don't think I should sing the high notes?
I've never sung a song before, so I don't know if I'm good or bad at it.
Professor, I asked to be on the sidelines. Why did you put me on the battlefield? You did protect me, so I guess I can't complain. Wait a second, you're hurt. Did that happen when you were defending me? Oh, I thought so. How could you be so reckless? Perhaps you'll say that that's what friends do. They look out for each other and save each other. But if I saw you getting attacked, I wouldn't risk my neck to save you. No, don't overestimate me. I don't know if I've told you this, Professor. I have a very impressive big brother. I'm not just saying that. He's strong, smart, nice. He's basically perfect. Before Claude turned up, people talked about him becoming the next leader of the Alliance. Don't mention that to Lawrence, by the way. He never shuts up about that kind of thing. Anyway, my parents have high expectations for my brother, and he almost always meets them. No one expects anything of me. If something's even a little bit difficult, I find someone else to do it for me. That's what I've done my whole life. Of course! I can't stand the idea of not meeting someone's expectations. I know how people react when that happens. From watching my brother, I mean. People force their expectations on you, and then if you fail, they look so disappointed. Whenever that happens to my poor brother, he looks just devastated. So don't expect anything of me, please. That way, I can't disappoint you. You're stubborn. Okay, fine. Keep believing in me. I do want to support you and support my friends. I just don't want to let you down.
Oh.
Right.
Hey!
Hello there. This one, yes? I think this one, yes? I think this one, yes? This one, yes? This one, yes? I thank you. Return soon, please.
I need your help. It looks like people are slowly starting to come back to the town. I guess they feel safe now that you and the Knights of Saros have returned. Peddlers have become more common too, so there'll be food and supplies available. After being run down for all those years, it's really becoming livable again. Excuse me, could you do me a favor? Hi. Really now? Yay! Thanks! There's a... I hope this... Welcome! Come back soon!
Hey, welcome. You have a good eye. A pleasure doing business with you. Come again.
Hey! Professor! Hey!
Right.
Professor. The Great Bridge of Myrden isn't just a bridge. It has the features of a fortress. I believe it was built for military purposes by the first leader of the Adrestian Empire. In other words, it's even older than the monastery. So if we occupy the Great Bridge, we'll have to search it from top to bottom.
No.
I've been away from Garreg Mach for a while, but I came back when I heard the rumors of what you were doing. The scars of 5 years ago may still be raw, but it's nice to be back. Anyway, I'm going to start up business here again, so I look forward to your patronage.
Hey!
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. I was talking to some of the Daphnel soldiers earlier, and it seems that Judith has a weakness. But they wouldn't tell me what it is. I got the feeling they didn't appreciate the question. Pardon me for being curious. That said, maybe keep this to yourself. Not that she terrifies me to my soul, but I'd hate to get on her bad side.
Thank you.
You have my thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey!
Hey you, listen up. I've got something to report. Lots of things happen down here. Lots of reports need to be reported. And for all reportable things, I'm your guy.
Oh. Not sure what brought people back up above, but I'm glad for it. The dining hall, the greenhouse, they're all ripe for the picking again. I mean, for them. Good for them.
What do you require? Now let me see. I expect much from this one. Yes, indeed. Now let me see. I expect much from this one. Yes, indeed. Now let me see. I expect much from this one. Yes, indeed. Now let me see. I expect much from this one. Yes, indeed. Now let me see. I expect much from this one. Yes, indeed. Now let me see. I expect much from this one. Yes, indeed. Now let me see. Marvelous. This one should be proud of their growth. Now let me see. I expect much from this one. Yes, indeed. Now let me see. Marvelous. This one should be proud of their growth. Now let me see. Marvelous. This one should be proud of their growth. Now let me see. Marvelous. This one should be proud of their growth. Now let me see. I expect much from this one. Now let me see. I expect much from this one. Yes, in fare thee well.
Invading the Empire at last, are we? I cannot still the wild palpitations in my chest. I have made myself ready to the extent that I could, but now that the day draws near, I fear that to proceed will be to abandon all hope of restoring the Imperial House of Nouvelle, which leaves me with no choice but to appeal to you and Claude for that. My dream is in your hands.
House Daphnel was kind enough to share their food with us. It may not be much in the grand scheme of things, but the gesture means a lot. The hero of Daphnel is something else too, isn't she? Balthus seems pretty taken with her.
Who'd have thought that House Row would show up? They must have been sweating blood to get to Ayla from way out there. Guess it's been a while since I left House Row, so it doesn't bother me much to have to fight them. Kinda always knew I'd be the one to take that stubborn old donkey out. I've been ready for this.
Huh. That lady hasn't changed a bit since I was a kid. Still intimidating as hell. What a woman. Being me, I'm not nervous or anything. I'm not sure how to approach her. That's all. My luck, she'll treat me like I'm still a kid, even though I'm clearly a full-grown adult man. If that's the angle she takes, maybe I can get some nice hugs out of this. Huh? Oh, nothing.
Why, hello there. Come back soon now.
Hey, welcome. You have a good eye. You have a good eye. You have a good eye.
A pleasure. You have a good eye. You have a good eye. You have a good eye. A pleasure doing business. You have a good eye. A pleasure. Come again. Hey, welcome. You have a good eye. 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 A pleasure doing. You have a good eye. You have a good eye. A pleasure doing business with you. Come again.
Welcome. This one? Thank you. This one? Thank you. Please come again.
Why, hello there. If it is your wish. I've nothing left to give today, dear. Come back soon now. Why, hello there. Come back soon now.
I've never met someone like Judy. She's easygoing, but at the same time, tough as nails. I bet she'd be real fun to hang out with. Judy's great, unlike that other guy, Lord, what's his name? I can't stand people like him. People who think they're always in the right. All he did was make trouble, but he convinced himself it was for a good cause. So infuriating. Hey, got a minute?
Ah, Leone, are we to sharpen swords again?
No, I came to give you this handkerchief back. Sorry, I know I held on to it for a while. You lent me this, remember?
I recall giving it to you. It is a noble's duty to give to the common folk. In return, the commoner need only pay respect.
That's nice. You left out the part where the nobles take all the stuff the regular folks make?
Yes, the common folk give the fruits of their labor, willingly, I might add, as a token of that respect. The head of San village offers his tribute in exactly that spirit, you know.
San? That's my village. You knew?
Of course. We granted exclusive hunting rights to San and forbade outsiders from poaching. In fact, when we received complaints about just that, we hired mercenaries to deal with the issue.
So that's what brought Gerald.
What was that?
Nothing. Look, just take the handkerchief. I'm returning something I borrowed from a friend.
Very well. As your friend, I will accept it.
You know, I really wish you wouldn't think of nobles as always giving and commoners as only receiving. Friends help each other, without thinking about status, and that help goes both ways.
Quite so. And when I require the aid of a friend, I assure you I will happily recognize it. But only with friends. In the main, I must continue to refuse assistance from the common folk. For a noble to accept would be disgraceful.
Huh. I always thought he was just stuck up. Turns out, he just has this grand idea of nobility he's trying to live up to. Oh no! I didn't even give him the handkerchief! Alois, I was hoping you could tell me some more stories about Captain Gerald.
You'd like to hear about Gerald's adventures? You seem quite taken with these stories, Leone.
Can't hurt, can it? All our work for the day is done. So remind me, how did you meet him?
Ah, it all feels like ancient history now. You see, the captain was visiting the kingdom of Fargus.
Uh-huh. Go on.
His previous squire had died from a ghastly plague. Then one day, he came upon me and appointed me his new squire.
At that age, you must have had some real talent and courage to stand out as a future knight.
Oh, no, it wasn't that. I was just an orphan boy living in the monastery. I was a timid little thing.
Really? He didn't choose you for your bravery? What made him choose you then?
My face looked like the dead boys.
What? That's it?
Well, I asked the captain, and that was the only answer he gave me.
Ha! Abrasive to the last. That's Captain Gerald for you.
Yes. In those early days, I would sometimes wonder whether he was right in the head. When I saw him on the battlefield, though, those concerns were laid to rest. Anyway, I think I hear your professor has been looking for you. You'd better scram.
Oh no, you're right. I'd better go. See you around.
Hey, welcome. You have a good eye. 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 Please come again.
Things have gotten a lot more interesting since we've joined up with Judith, haven't they? Anyone who casually treats Claude like he's just some kid is not a person to be trifled with. I think Captain Gerald would have liked her. I hope someday I can be as strong, kind, and level-headed as her.
Hey there. We came from the territory of House Daphne. It's not easy to leave one's home, but it had to be done. Judith asked us so earnestly, there was no way we could have refused. We can trust you, right? I'd hate to end up just another pointless death.
I don't know where he recruited that man, but Claude's got an eye for great talent. I'm talking about his retainer, Nardell. I've only spoken with him briefly, but he seems to have a fair amount of both brains and brawn, with the skills to match. But there's something about him I can't quite place, like I've somehow heard of him before.
I'd heard of the hero of Daphne, but that was the first time I've met her in person. She's the head of a prestigious noble family? Just like Claude. The Alliance nobility is so odd. Kind of, but I don't mean that in a bad way. You won't find such big-hearted nobles elsewhere. Plus, Judith can drink with the best of them. A woman after my own heart.
Nice.
5 years ago, when the Imperial Army attacked Garreg Mach, they moved with incredible speed. But in the middle of all that chaos, she still had operatives watching. The hero of Daphne's spy network is impressive. She shouldn't be taken lightly.
If our plan succeeds, we'll arrive at the Great Bridge of Murden unscathed. The important part is what happens next. We're evenly matched in terms of military power, more or less. So if we can just launch a surprise attack... I wouldn't be so sure. That bridge is almost like a fortress. The defense there is rock solid. But that's why you're here, Teach. No matter the odds, you're the wild card we need to win.
Right. The year 1185 is almost over. From next month on, it will be the year 1186. It's just a date, of course, but it feels significant. I hope next year is a great one.
So Lady Rhea was in the Empire all this time. Glad as I am that Judith told us. I wish we had known this 5 years ago. We spent all that time spread out over Fotland, searching for the Archbishop and you. It was a mistake to abandon the monastery, to leave it in ruins. Now we're paying for that mistake.
Here's an idea. On the north side of the Great Bridge of Murden lies the territory of Acheron of the Alliance, and to the south, the Empire's Burgleys territory. Count Burgleys has held the position of Minister of Military Affairs for the Empire ever since the days of Emperor Ionius. The current Emperor seems to have brought the corrupt nobility to heel, but Count Burgleys looks to be an exception.
Thanks to all that food from Judith, I'm full for once. I've got so much energy. Let me at that Great Bridge of Murden. I'll bust it down myself. Oh, but then how do we cross?
Judith is a wonderful person, so strong and confident as well. Looking upon her, I am sharply reminded of my mother. Not in the slightest. Rather, it is her way of being, her demeanor. Brilliantly bright and positive, like a warm ray of light. I lost my mother long ago. I miss her desperately.
I would like to believe that I've always made my own decisions. Even so, I cannot deny that some small part of me has always been aware of my father's wishes. Now here I am, concealing our plan, Claude's plan, from his sight. No. The strategy is sound, and I've consented to it. In this fight, I will finally stand upon my own 2 feet, independent of my father's influence.
legend says that pillars of light fell and ravaged ALL. I was reminded of that when I saw it. Professor? Do you think those legends are true? I think so too. I don't know if the goddess really destroyed the valley out of anger, but there are still so many things we don't understand in this world.
Right. Hearing that the Knights of Seros have returned, the monks have also been coming back. We still don't have enough hands here, but we'll use all that we've got to rebuild the monastery. Until the day that Lady Rhea is returned to us, we have to do all we can.
Right.
Wendell, whom we saw at ALL, was once a renowned general known as the Grey Lion. And yet, as we fought him, it seemed like he was just looking for a place to die. Even if House Rowe, whom he served, is no more, he shouldn't have just given up on life.
Oh.
The battle at ALL was a tactical marvel. You grow stronger with each passing day. Where does your talent end and your crest's power begin? Are they one and the same, I wonder? Most intriguing. Yet it is quite difficult to draw useful conclusions given the situation. It is quite unfortunate I did not achieve my research goals before the war broke out. So much unknown. Now, I fear I will not have those answers even by conflict's end. So very frustrating.
Oh, hello there, Professor. Did you need something from me? It doesn't look like you're wounded or anything. You just looking for someone to talk to? I thought so. Well, I'm here for you. Making you feel better is my top priority. Whether it's physical pain or worries of the heart, you can come to me for anything, Professor.
If Rhea really is in the Empire, then we must defeat the Imperial army by any means necessary. The people at large are just as concerned for Rhea's safety as we are. The sooner we can settle all our unease, the better.
Is it true Lady Rhea was dragged off by the Imperial army? I heard that was true. Why'd they take Lady Rhea? Professor, they didn't take her to kill her, did they? That's good. We just gotta beat the Imperial army and get her back, right? You gotta help her, Professor. I'm begging you.
Wow, this is all kinds of tasty.
My favorite meal at my favorite cost. Free. Gotta love this place.
Eating delicious food.
This.
Whenever I eat with you, Lawrence, I always feel like I have to mind my manners. It's awful.
Good. You should mind your manners even when I am not watching. You are a noble after all.
Oh, I like.
Food just tastes better when you're sharing it with friends. Eating alone saps all the flavor.
I'm grateful I get to eat every day. May the goddess bless this fine meal. Professor, I'm sure you know this already, but House Ordelia is aligned with the Empire. They face the Empire from across a river, similar to the Gloucesters. Even so, I refuse to yield to the Empire a second time. The Empire did unthinkable things to my family, and to me. The only option here is winning. Professor, you must promise we will overcome the Empire. There's...
Where moat it is now.
Whether it's...
This experience is critical.
Thank you.
You have my thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Professor!
Invading, I feel... Which leaves...
The earth nurtures the trees, and the trees bear fruit. It's the earth itself that gives us all life. O Fodlan, land of plenty, bless us with the gift of delicious food.
What are you doing?
Oh, it's just you, Lawrence.
I was disturbed by your ridiculous blather. Must you recite it quite so loudly? And can you even call that nonsense poetry when it is utterly ignorant of rhyme and meter?
Ouch! You don't hold back, do you? I didn't know you were so particular about poetry. Ha! Maybe you have a secret poetry collection of your own hidden somewhere.
That's absurd! Where did you hear that? And just what was that poem about? It seemed to me that you were praising the land. But is it not the goddess who nurtures the land? Should your praise not go to her instead?
Of course you zero in on that detail. You really are a Fodlan noble through and through.
Certainly. Aren't you?
I'm not quite the same, no. Though noble blood flows within me, it can't change who I am at heart.
Pardon? I think you had best clarify.
Listen, Lawrence, you had ambitions of becoming the Alliance's ruler, didn't you? Would you like to try that for real? If you really want it, I wouldn't mind giving up my position.
What's this all of a sudden? That is not an offer to be made in jest.
I'm not joking around. I've been thinking it for a while now. I originally thought you were like a fox drawn in by the deer of the Alliance. But I was wrong. You're no thoughtless predator. You're trying to properly train the deer around you. Isn't that right?
That is my intention. But the ambition is insufficient. To rule well, a certain temperament is required. When we first met, I mistrusted you a great deal, and on my father's advice, I observed you closely. That is why I can say this for certain. You possess the qualities necessary to govern.
A compliment from you? That's about as rare as a deer standing on its hind legs and doing a jig.
Merely a statement of fact, one that is quite relevant to the future of the Alliance.
The future of the Alliance, huh? You really are devoted to your cause.
Depending on your actions, I may yet see fit to seize your position for myself. Bear that in mind.
I welcome the idea. It means I can feel safe vanishing whenever I see fit.
Vanishing? Do not tell me you intend to die in this conflict. You cannot shape the future if you do not live to see it.
Ha! First you compliment me, and now you're worrying about me? What have you done with the real Lawrence? No, I'm not going to die. I'm tougher than I look. Besides, this war isn't just for the Alliance anymore. It's going to decide the fate of all Fodlan. It would be cruel to leave you with the burden of uniting all of Fodlan by yourself, don't you think?
Burden? Please. If there were none other suitable, I would gladly become a king. Or even an emperor.
Well, well. I guess I shouldn't take Lawrence of the famous House Gloucester so lightly. Really, though. Don't you go dying on me either, Lawrence. We're going to need men like you in the age to come.
The same to you, Claude. A world without you would be ever so dull.
Yeah! Who's the best? I'm the best. I think I got the hang of it.
I've learned a lot. I'm getting it.
That was adequate. This was hardly a challenge for me.
Goodness. Uma. Brings.
I learned a lot from this.
Can't say I'm surprised. Go on. Can't. I'm a quick study. Thanks for the tips. Oh.
I've got a question. You call that an answer?
Professor. We won't even break a sweat.
Yeah, I'm glad it's you. We did some great work.